The secret. He said, "Hold the elevator, please." She held the door with her right hand. He stepped in. He thanked her without looking at her in the eyes. She knew he recognized her, but she appreciated the clear gesture. No talking in the elevator. She preferred it that way, too. Something was different today, though. Once the elevator doors closed, she realized she could smell him. She recognized the cologne. Months ago, she'd been close to his body, pressed against it, really. He was a junior associate. She was a paralegal. They were on different floors. They weren't assigned to the same case, but they rode the same train. Several times a week, she found herself a few steps behind him on the sidewalk between the station and their building. She would slow down to make sure she didn't catch up with him. She wasn't sure, but she had a feeling he did the same when he found himself behind her. One morning, she pushed herself onto a packed car. The doors had shut. She had shifted her body to make a better fit. And then she'd looked up and flinched. He was standing next to her. He was straining his neck back at an impossible angle so he wouldn't choke on her hair. 15 minutes of difficult conversation. Outside the station, she'd stopped to get a coffee from a street vendor. She'd said, "Please don't wait." He'd seemed grateful. Elevators were okay. Elevators usually had other people in them. When it was just the two of them, they could look up at the LCD screen in the right-hand corner that flashed news bulletins and odd bits of trivia. His smell registered today because other days it hadn't. She couldn't help glancing at him out of the corner of her eye. He looked neat like he always did, but his skin was grayish. A filmy layer of grime coated his face. She decided he hadn't showered and had used extra cologne to make up for it. Later, she would remember that thought. Corporate law firms are clean places, and corporate lawyers are clean people. The spoiler. The psychology of the spoiler. Is suspense distracting at best, mystifying at worst? Do secrets and puzzles, which can only be solved by the introduction of new information anyway, annoy you? Do they, in fact, smack of fascistic manipulation? Or do you like to be teased? It's a question of preference. The moment of revelation, or the moment before? At the bottom, and there is a bottom, at the core, and there is a core, lies the single, isolated body. It's not about, it can't only be about politics. The fiction depends on the possibility of one body, caring about one dead body. I thought, but it's precisely the physically dead with which a progressive fiction should concern itself. And it is precisely an attention to the bodiness of bodies that currently cannot be guaranteed. But wait, I said one dead body and I meant the first dead body. All subsequent bodies will diminish in impact and importance. Also, and this is very important, that one body that we care about, it's too late for that body. Its discovery sets in motion a sequence of events in reverse, but when we get back to the beginning, and we will get back to the beginning, that's in the contract. We always find out what happened, who did what. When we get back to the root, the seed, the act, there's nothing to be done. The body is the point, no matter what, and no matter what, the body is dead. So, structurally fatalistic and apolitical, the detective story. Charming. The detective, Angela Lansbury. Angela Lansbury makes my heart sink. Her eyes are boring. same almost inexpressible depressive reaction towards Murder, She Wrote that I have towards Columbo. But Owen said, when he was growing up in the drag queen valleys of South Wales, Angela Lansbury was his first boyfriend when he was 16's drag persona. He would pick Owen up from his weekend job at Tesco coffee shop and perform a falsetto rendition of the Murder, She Wrote theme song in the car. In light of new evidence, I have to rethink my position. Assembled colleagues, it appears we have just witnessed the cameo. The criminal. I was still awake. At first, my breathing was shallow, and then I wasn't breathing at all. I sat up and coughed, but it wasn't like there was anything caught in my throat or anything. I drank water. Then I could get some air in, but not very much. I felt like if I tried to get more in, I wouldn't be able to get any in at all. I made a sound when I tried to inhale. It was a croaking sound. I thought, I'm doing this to myself. I drank more water. I coughed again. This time it helped a little, so I coughed some more. At some point, I must have started breathing normally. I can't remember how I fell asleep. I told Olga I thought I had asthma. She said she thought I had a panic attack. I thought that was right, actually. Al said in Iran, when you feel like that, like you can't breathe, the idea is a jinn is sitting on your chest, and you have to catch it by its nose. Another night, I sat up again because I couldn't breathe. I drank water. I got in the shower. I tried to stop thinking. I thought about Olga and Al. I thought about writing about Olga and Al. I thought about making them characters in a story, like they would be good characters in a story. Olga, painter and daughter of wealthy Polish industrialists who came out of communism just a little too well. She's beautiful and high-spirited, but she has a taste for cocaine. Has it led her down the wrong path? Al, Iranian from Toronto, socialist sympathies, a degree from LSE, and a guitar. Respectable enough on the surface, but is he actually leading a double life? I sat down in the shower. I let the water pour on my head. I indulged in vulgar summaries, crude exaggerations, and wild constructions, and I aimed them at my friends. Already guilty, I let myself go. The solution. Many of you gathered here must have by now surely pieced together the solution, which I, nevertheless, feel bound to disclose, if only for the simple reason that it would do me good to hear it out loud. I have, of course, utterly failed to write a detective story. I have disclosed nothing for the simple reason that I have nothing to disclose. Not only have I neglected to solve the puzzle, to prepare a satisfying climax and denouement, I have not even taken the trouble to stage a crime. Or have